Hare Krishna. Why Krishna married 16,108 queens? Many times, due to insufficient knowledge, people decry Krishna marrying 16,108 queens. They question, how could Lord Krishna go up to marrying so many queens? However, scriptures, great sages and demigods glorify these pastimes of Lord Krishna. Proper understanding about the marriage pastimes of Lord Krishna can be gained by learning from the Srimad Bhagavatam, in which the great sage Shukdev Goswami has narrated these pastimes. In marrying 16,108 queens, Lord Krishna exhibited his immeasurable opulence. Lord Krishna is the original Supreme Personality of Godhead, absolute truth. To marry so many queens and maintain them in great opulence, keeping them fully satisfied, is nothing wonderful for him. No other person in existence can achieve such a feat of opulence, power, and perfect marital harmony. As stated in Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th Canto, Chapter 83. Once Draupadi inquired from Lord Krishna's wives how the Lord had come to marry them. Queen Rukmini spoke first. Many kings, headed by Jarasandh, were intent on giving me in marriage to Shishupal. Thus, at my wedding, they all stood with bows in hand, ready to support Shishupal against any opponents. But Sri Krishna came and forcibly took me away, as a lion takes his prey from amidst goats and sheep. Queen Satyabhama said, when my uncle Prashena was killed, my father Satyajit falsely accused Lord Krishna of murder. To clear his name, Krishna defeated Jamvan, recovered the Syamantak jewel and returned it to Satyajit. Repentant, my father presented the Lord with both the jewel and myself. Queen Jambavati said, when Sri Krishna entered my father's cave in search of the Syamantak jewel, at first my father, Jamvan, did not understand who he was. So my father fought with him for 27 days and nights. When my father finally came to his senses and recognized the Lord, he took hold of his feet and presented him with both me and the Syamantak jewel as tokens of his reverence. Queen Kalindi said, to obtain Krishna as my husband, I performed severe austerities. Then one day, Lord Krishna came to me in the company of Arjun. At that time, the Lord agreed to marry me. Queen Kalindi is the personified Yamuna who desired to marry Krishna, which was fulfilled by him. Queen Mitravinda said, at my Swayamvar ceremony, he came forward, defeated all the kings present, including my brothers, who dared insult him, and took me away just as a lion removes his prey from amidst a pack of dogs. Thus, Lord Krishna, the shelter of the goddess of fortune, brought me to his capital city. May I be allowed to serve him by washing his feet, life after life. Queen Satya said, my father arranged for 7 extremely powerful and vigorous bulls with deadly sharp horns to test the prowess of the kings who desired my hand in marriage. Although these bulls destroyed the false pride of many heroes, Lord Krishna subdued them effortlessly, tying them up in the same way that children playfully tie up a goat's kids. Lord Krishna manifested himself in 7 separate forms and subdued the 7 bulls. He thus purchased me with his valor. Then he took me away with my maidservants and a full army of 4 divisions, defeating all the kings who opposed him along the road. May I be granted the privilege of serving that Lord. Queen Bhadra said, my dear Draupadi, of his own free will, my father invited his nephew Krishna, to whom I had already dedicated my heart, and offered me to him as his bride. My father presented me to the Lord with an Akshauni military guard and a retinue of my female companions. Queen Lakshmana said to Draupadi, O Queen, I repeatedly heard Narad Muni glorify the appearances and activities of Achyut, and thus my heart also became attached to that Lord, Mukund. My father, Bharat was by nature compassionate to his daughter, and knowing how I felt, O saintly lady, he arranged to fulfill my desire. Just as a fish was used as a target in your Swayamvar ceremony, O queen, to assure that you would obtain Arjun as your husband, so a fish was also used in my ceremony. In my case, however, it was concealed on all sides, and only its reflection could be seen in a pot of water below. Hearing of this, thousands of kings expert in shooting arrows and in wielding other weapons converged from all directions on my father's city, accompanied by their military teachers. A few heroes, namely Jarasandh, Bhim, Duryodhan, Karn, and the king of Ambastha, succeeded in stringing the bow, but none of them could find the target. Then Arjun looked at the reflection of the fish in the water and determined its position. When he carefully shot his arrow at it, however, he did not pierce the target but merely grazed it. After all the arrogant kings had given up, their pride broken, the Supreme Personality of Godhead picked up the bow, easily strung it, and then fixed his arrow upon it. He looked at the fish in the water only once, and then pierced it with the arrow, knocking it to the ground. I placed the victory necklace on Sri Krishna's neck, but the kings who had failed raised a violent protest. Lord Krishna valiantly fought them, cutting off the heads, arms and legs of many and sending the rest fleeing for their lives. Then the Lord took me to Dwarka for our lavish wedding. Rohini Devi, representing all the other queens, explained that they were daughters of the kings defeated by Bhaumasur. The demon had held them captive. After killing Bhaumasur and his followers, the Lord found us in the demon's prison and could understand that we were the daughters of the kings whom Bhauma had defeated during his conquest of the earth. The Lord set us free, and because we had been constantly meditating upon his lotus feet, the source of liberation from material entanglement, he agreed to marry us, though his every desire is already fulfilled. As far as the 16,100 queens are concerned, the narration in the Bhagavatam is as follows. The king of heaven, Indra, once came to Dwarka to complain to Lord Krishna of the heinous activities of one demon called Bhaumasur, who had usurped some property of the demigods. Lord Krishna mounted his eagle carrier Garur along with Satyabhama and went to attack the capital of Bhaumasur called Pragjotishpura. There he destroyed the strong fortifications of the city and killed Bhaumasur along with his soldiers and associates. Bhaumasur was the son of Mother Earth. Mother Earth offered wonderful prayers to Lord Krishna and returned the property of the demigods to Krishna, which included the celestial earrings of Mother Aditi, the mother of demigods. When Krishna entered the palace of Bhaumasur, he saw 16,100 princesses who had been kidnapped by Bhaumasur from various kings. The princesses prayed with uncontaminated hearts to have Krishna as their husband. Lord Krishna could understand their pure desire and decided to accept them. In a Vedic society, the girls having lived for a period outside the protection of their fathers would not have been accepted by anyone else. He dispatched all of them in palanquins along with suitable dress and paraphernalia to Dwarka to marry them there. Later, Krishna returned to Dwarka after a brief sojourn to the heavenly planets, where he returned the property of the demigods to them and also fought with them for getting the Parijat tree for the pleasure of his wife Satyabhama. Krishna expanded himself into 16,100 forms and married all the princesses at the exact same auspicious moment. Although this is impossible for any other person, it was not very significant for the omnipresent Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Lord thus had totally 16,108 queens. He built 16,108 opulent palaces for the queens and lived like a perfect householder in 16,108 different forms with each of his queens. The queens would personally serve the Lord, not waiting for the hundreds of maid servants, and Krishna would respond like a perfect husband. In this way, they enjoyed transcendental conjugal bliss. These dealings of the Supreme Lord as an ordinary householder are mysterious even to great demigods and sages. The true identity of the Lord and the queens is not of ordinary human beings. Lord Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and all the 16,108 queens of Krishna are expansions of the goddess of fortune, Lakshmi Ji. They are eternally related as husband and wife. Although Krishna's activities appear to be those of a powerful king, we should never forget his supreme position. The Lord performs his superhuman pastimes for us to be attracted to him and revive our adoring, devotional attitude towards him. The Srimad Bhagavatam later describes the great sage Narad Muni being astonished at hearing how the Lord had defeated Bhaumasur, also called Narkasur, and expanded into 16,100 forms to marry the princesses abducted by the demon. Narad Muni visits Dwarka and goes to each of the 16,108 palaces and is wonderstruck to see the Lord engaged in intimate household affairs in each of the palaces. It appears as though a continuous festival is going on in Dwarka. He observes the unfathomable opulence of each palace, and his admiration for the Lord magnifies. Hare Krishna.